Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome dear students. This is a video for the subject of education for the course of Bachelor's of Education and for the paper of Educational Technology. This video is based on Science of Teaching Learning, and in this lecture we will be discussing the stages of teaching, which include pre-active, interactive and post-active stages. This video is recorded by Dr. Iram Khan. The course coordinator and the presenter of this video is Dr. Iram Khan from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. The academic expert or the reviewer of this video is Professor Jasim Ahmed from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. This video is produced under the project DTH Swayam Prabha channels of Ministry of Education, Government of India. Hello dear students, I am Dr. Iram Khan, Assistant Professor at Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, Faculty of Education, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Today in this session, we are going to have a discussion on Science of Teaching Learning, and here in this lecture, the focus will be on the stages of teaching, which include pre-active stage, interactive stage and post-active stages of teaching. The objectives of this session are to discuss the stages of teaching, to analyze the pre-active, interactive and post-active stages of teaching, to describe the interrelation among the stages of teaching. So if we try to point out the meaning and definition of the term, which is the task of teaching, we can say that teaching as a job of a person or a professional who is popularly called as a teacher, it may involve a number of acts which are popularly called as the teaching acts or the functions or operations which need systematic planning and careful execution. And in doing so, or in doing all these acts, basically this teacher has to proceed in a sequential and organized way. This teacher has to follow the sequential and organized steps. These steps, which are again popularly called as the stages of teaching, these are basically very important for the teacher. And in general, a teaching task can be systematically analyzed with 3 stages or phases of teaching, which basically have various particular things to do. So what are these 3 stages? The first stage is called as the pre-active stage or the planning stage. The second stage is called as the interactive phase or the interactive stage or the stage of implementation. And the third stage is the post-active stage or the evaluation stage. So these 3 stages basically constitute the entire teaching task. And in this session, we are going to have a thorough discussion on these 3 stages. The first stage of teaching task is the pre-active stage. What exactly it means? As we have just discussed, that it is basically the planning stage of the teaching act. So in every task, we see that the good planning makes the task very much effective and very impactful. In the same way, a good planning makes the task of the teacher very good and functional and successful. And if we try to make it very much categorical, we can say that there are 2 major steps which are involved in this stage or in this pre-active stage of teaching. What are these? The first one is the establishment of some kind of goals or objectives. And the second one is discovering ways and means of achieving these objectives. So the first one is like we see that how the first one can be achieved in the second one. So we try to discover different type of pedagogies, methodologies, and ways in which we are going to achieve all those objectives, the goals which are set first. So the operations and activities concerning the planning phase or the pre-active phase can be taken up in this way. We are just going to have a look one by one. So what we do first, a logical first step in planning for any teaching is the attempt made by a teacher for the establishment of certain goals or objectives. So normally we go ahead and set up some objectives, certain objectives, and accordingly the teacher formulates in detail the specific instructional or teaching objectives, and sometimes the teacher writes them, all those objectives, the teacher plans them in writing in a very proper way, and most of the times this happens in behavioral terms as we do in our lesson planning. Then the next thing is that how can the stipulated objectives can be effectively achieved is something which is to be decided in the second step of the pre-active stage. What exactly it means that in this consequent planning, uh, what we do take a lot of decisions, a lot of things we are going to think of, we are going to manipulate, and we as a teacher design in this planning stage. And what can be all those aspects? The first thing what we do is we go for making choice of the content or the material which we are going to teach, or regarding which we are going to give a class to our students, or we are going to make them experience whatever. We used to select or we used to choose all those content or material at the first place. Then we do organize or make a sequence of the content or the material. Then what we do next is to make a consideration about the principles and maxims of teaching. We try to see that what exactly will be the way out in which we are going to transact this particular content or the knowledge of that particular topic. Then we take decisions and do the planning about the proper use of teaching aids. So we try to collect the resources or those things which will be useful for us while teaching of this particular topic. So we select the teaching aids. Then the choice of methods, the techniques, and also the strategies. What strategy of teaching we are going to adapt? So there is a possibility that we are going to adapt a strategy where there is some activity which is going to be done in the class, or maybe a game is going to be played for explaining that particular concept, or maybe anything which the teacher actually strategize, and that is done beforehand. Then we go for seeing that what will be the most appropriate duration, what will be the most appropriate place, and how we are going to manage the classroom. Suppose we are planning a method of gaming, or we are planning a game based methodology for teaching that particular topic. So we also have to see that what will be the way out in which we are going to manage the classroom. So there should be no indiscipline or disturbance for other classes. If we are adapting a method which is a little bit unconventional, and there would be a little bit of disturbance. So if there is a possibility, then we have to see that what can be the rules and methods or strategies which can be planned, so that this game based class or activity based class is not troublesome for others or the other classes which are besides running side by side. And then we also make decisions about the evaluation process. We try to see that what will be the evaluative tool or the way in which we are going to make an evaluation of the concept which we are teaching, that how much uh, the students are able to adopt the things and they are able to understand. So we do some sort of evaluation as a teacher, and we plan it beforehand that what will be the way out in which we are going to make the evaluation. So this is something which we do in the second step of this pre-active stage. And then in the third step, what we do in this pre-active phase, basically we have to chalk down all the details of the journey that the teacher wants to perform or wants to go ahead with the classroom along with the students. So basically teachers make a record of all those things, and at times the records are in the form of teacher's diary or maybe any type of anecdotal record, or teacher makes some sort of jotting downs in the notebook which she has, or maybe the teacher's diary which is published on the school website, or which is to be made on the um, on the requirement of the authorities. Even so, the teacher makes the experiences jotted down in this teacher's diary. And even the lesson plans, the teacher somehow makes some sort of jottings, and this writings are done at the third stage of this pre-active stage. So this is the pre-active stage of teaching, where lots and lots of planning happens. Then comes the next stage, which is the interactive stage, or we can say that this second phase of teaching is concerned with the implementation or execution of the class. We carry out what all we have planned or decided at the pre-active stage or at the planning stage. It is the stage for actual teaching, actual execution. Success or failure of this particular stage depends on the degree and quality of the classroom interaction between the teacher and the students. So if the class is interactive, we can say that actual teaching and learning is happening because the students are taking active part in the process of uh, the teaching and learning. The major activities which are undertaken in this particular stage, these can be grouped into three major categories. The first one is perception, the second one is diagnosis, and the third is reaction processes. Let us try to understand what exactly these activities of the stage of interactive, or the interactive stage, basically are all about. So the first one, the first activity or the first process of the interactive stage is perception. Here, the interaction process basically is initiated. So interaction process demands an appropriate perception on the part of teacher as well as the students. It can't happen if either of is inactive or is not interested in the process. So when a teacher enters the classroom, the first activity is concerned with a perception of a classroom climate. The teacher tries to actually analyze on her own, on the basis of all those abilities and the pre-planning whatever she has done earlier, that what exactly is the mood of the audiences, what exactly the students who are sitting in the class are actually willing to do. And this basic analysis is something which gives her cues that how she can start the interaction. And similarly, the students also try to have a perception of the ability or the behavior, even the mood and overall personality of the teacher. The teacher is known to the students, so the students also try to check out that in which mood, in how happy the teacher is today, or if she is in a good mood or not. So these characteristics are in order to seek the desirable uh, interaction in the teaching learning process. So if the interaction is going to happen in a healthy way, both of them should be interested in the class and should be in a good mood to interact, and this should be reflected. It should be reflected. So there is a possibility that if the teacher is not in a good mood, or maybe somehow in a negative coming from a negative environment, there would be a possibility that the interaction would not be that happy, and it takes a little bit of time, and then things are actually normalized and the proper interaction starts. So this starting point is basically the sensing of the mood of the teacher as well the students. Then comes the other step or the process of this interactive stage, which is diagnosis. A proper diagnosis of the abilities and behavior of both the students and the teacher is very essential for the appropriate interaction. And a teacher basically tries to assess and diagnose the achievement level of the students with respect to their abilities, the academic background, because the teacher is knowing the academic backgrounds of most of the students, and also the intelligence. That is also something which the teacher is aware of, and the interest level, and also the aptitude. So the diagnosis work may this can be done in several ways. The teacher may ask some questions, or she can assess the performance and behavior potentials by providing opportunities for performing or behaving. Like teacher can take a performance test, or maybe some sort of interaction can happen, and the teacher can make out that what exactly are those things or the features which the student is actually having. So the students also, through verbal or non-verbal interaction, get the opportunity to assess and diagnose the abilities, the interest, aptitude, and behavior performance of their own responses and reactions from, like, for all the contributing agencies. You can say that all those activities which are happening here in this classroom, the students are basically observing everything. So even they get to know that the peer group is how good, or what are those features which other students are having, which are good or bad. And even the teachers' abilities can be assessed by the students, and in this way the effective interaction in the teaching act is initiated, and the interaction actually starts happening. After the diagnosis phase, we have got reaction process, which is the third activity or third section of the interactive phase. What basically happens in the reaction processes? Action reaction processes play the central role in the task of classroom interaction. And for this purpose, a teacher has to take right decisions with regard to the selection and use of the proper stimuli, schedule of reinforcement, like what kind of reinforcements the teacher is going to give, what are the appreciations, and all those kind of words which the teacher is going to use. So that is also to be scheduled, and the feedback devices and development of suitable strategies suiting the needs of the pupils, the needs of the students, the teaching environment, and teaching objectives. So the students have also to learn the proper ways of reacting and responding to the various stimuli and teaching techniques which are being presented to the students by the teachers, or this individual teacher. So we can say that here in this way, the interactive phase of teaching is responsible for establishing appropriate verbal and non-verbal classroom interaction between the teacher and the students by arranging suitable teaching learning activities and an equally suitable and controlled classroom environment. So basically, this is the soul of the entire classroom where all the interaction happens, all the implementation of the teaching activity happens. So this is the interactive phase. After the interactive phase, the next is the post-active phase or the post-active stage of teaching. This is the third stage of teaching act and is concerned with the evaluation activities. So first of all, the stipulated objectives are considered and attempts are made to measure or assess the degree or qualities of the expected behavioral changes in the students as a result of the teaching activities performed in the interactive phase or in the stage of implementation. And this can be done in a number of ways. A lot of things can be done for making evaluations, including tests or quizzes, or by even by observing students, uh, the reactions of the students, whatever reactions they are making on the questions. You can make out as a teacher that whether they are able to understand that particular topic or not. If they are giving very kind of positive reaction to the questions, it means they are understanding the topic and they are eager to answer the questions. And if they are very much like not willing to answer the questions, then somehow you can make out that okay, the comprehension is not that well, or the comments which they make, the structured or unstructured situation and behavioral situation, the behavior level, even that is something which actually tells a teacher or informs a teacher about the level of understanding of the students. The teacher is a very sensitive person. She can make out that what is the level of understanding which the student has achieved, and that sensing is also one of the parts of evaluation. So the teacher should try to take right decisions about the selections of the appropriate evaluation devices for this purpose. So the result of the evaluations which are carried out may be used by the teacher as well as the students for bringing desirable improvement in their roles and activities. So if the performance is not very good and it is the teacher has analyzed this by the means of using any tool of evaluation, then the teacher can help the students for bringing the student up and understanding the concept by giving some extra lessons or maybe some extra time. So this evaluation process or the post-active stage, it also follows few of the steps, or it takes place in few of those particular uh, points. So let us just try to understand those points. The first point is the suitability of the stipulated objectives may be properly assessed. So whatever we have stipulated or we have planned in the first stage, in the planning stage, the goals and the objectives, we may see that whether all those are properly assessed or we are planned for all those assessments or not. The extent or quality of their accomplishments, their completion, makes them makes the teacher to take decisions about the further continuation of those activities, or maybe if there is a need of improvement or any sort of alteration is required, then the teacher can make all those alterations at this stage so that all those objectives and goals which were made at the stage of planning should be accomplished. In the second stage or second step of this evaluation or stage or post-active stage, the suitability of the content and its organization may be suggested. So the teacher has to see that the topics or the content which she is transacting, whether it is or it was suitable or not for those students. decisions regarding reteaching the content or moving to new content may be introduced in the strategies and techniques of teaching. So this is also something which is to be decided in this stage, that whether the topics which are taught to the students, they require some sort of reteaching, or now they have comprehended everything and the teacher can move to the new content. So this is also the part of this stage or this step. Then the third step is to see the suitability of the instructional process, the resources, the teaching aids, the material which is being used for helping the teacher in explaining the concepts, and also the teaching strategies. All these things are evaluated, and as a result, change and improvement may be introduced in the strategies and techniques of teachings. So we used to see everything, that if there is a problem in the performance, so where the problem actually lies in, whether my resource which I'm using as a teaching aid is not appropriate, or the teaching method which I'm adapting is not appropriate. So what exactly is the lagging point? We used to evaluate that also as a teacher, so that we can make our teaching learning process very much effective. Then what we do, the role of the classroom environment and the learning situations. This is also something which we have to evaluate. We have to see that there is no bullying in the classroom, because it can also be a lagging point. If the students, few of the students are not able to comprehend, whether they are bullied, or if there is something which is there, which is actually rolling down in their minds, and they're not giving any kind of attention to the class. What exactly is that point? The teacher is also concerned about. The teacher should be concerned about all these things, because in the classroom environment, everything related to the student and the teacher is basically seen. So the classroom environment and learning situation needs also the evaluation, and this is being done in this particular post-active stage. And accordingly, the desired changes are suggested, and even the management of all those desirable characters and desirable changes are done on the basis of all those elements which were evaluated. So this is the post-active stage. So what we can see here, that if we try to make a kind of overview of all these three stages, which are very much interdependent and interrelated, we can find a very kind of important relationship between these three stages. And in a concise way, we can say that the post-active activities concerning evaluation help the teacher and the students in bringing desirable improvement in their performances by providing necessary corrective feedback. And all the three phases of teaching, they all together describe separately all those things, like the initial stage or the pre-active stage is focusing on the planning. Then comes the interactive phase or interactive stage, or the stage of implementation where the execution of the classroom happens. And in the last stage, which is the post-active stage, all the evaluation happens. So all these three stages present the continuous cycle of the teaching, influencing and directing each other all together to make this teaching learning process happen. So you can actually see here in this diagram that how this triangle, the three poles of the triangle are having, at one pole we are having the pre-active stage or the planning stage, then we have got the interactive stage, and the stage of implementation, and then we have got the post-active stage and the stage of evaluation. And there are bidirectional arrows which show that how these three are interrelated and are interdependent. So these are the three stages of teaching, which are the essential components whenever a teacher goes inside and then comes out. All these three stages are somehow going to happen in the classroom. So they are the essence of teaching, we can say. So we can conclude the process of teaching in a way that it does not confine itself with mere classroom interaction or presentation of the content, or teaching material, or teaching aids, or learning experiences. A teaching task can never be confined to the face-to-face dialogue between the teacher and the students, which is carried out in the interaction phase. It begins even before the teacher enters the classroom. With the work of planning, the teaching task actually starts, and it continues even after the interaction stage in the form of evaluation or the feedback and all those similar type of other post active activities. And many times even after the teacher leaves the class, even then the teaching is happening. And you can see a very good example in the form of all those messagings and the queries which the students nowadays ask to the teacher on the different social media platforms. There are a lot of groups on which the teachers and students are connected, and even after the class has ended, the students ask questions and the teacher analyzes the question and solves their query. So the process actually goes on, and nowadays there is a process where even the classroom process is initiated much before the entering of the teacher inside the classroom, in the form of flipped classroom, where the teacher used to give some sort of material in the group. On the social media platform, the teacher plans or sends some material which is related to the classroom activity, which is going to happen after a day or maybe later on. And this flipped classroom material, this learning material, can be in any form. And the teacher gives some instruction that you have to go through the video or you have to read this material, and the class is going to start on the basis of the discussions based on this particular topic, which is covered in this material which is given beforehand, and the class initiates on that particular basis. So this in somehow we can say that much before entering to the classroom, the teaching learning process starts. So this is somehow the different stages, the explanation of different stages of teaching, which have got no boundaries nowadays. Let us just try to have a quick overview or a summary of whatever we have studied today. So for realizing the purpose of the teaching task, we have to proceed in some sequential and organized steps. And these steps or stages are known as the stages or the phases of teaching. In general, a teaching task involves three different stages, which are named as the pre-active phase, the interactive phase, and the post-active stage or phase. The first one is the pre-active stage or the planning stage of the teaching task. There are two major steps which are involved in this particular stage of pre-active uh, or the pre-active stage, which are named as the formulation of teaching goals or objectives and discovering ways and means for the achievement of these objectives. Then the second stage is the interactive stage. In this particular stage, basically the implementation happens, and whatever is planned in the first stage, in the pre-active stage, whatever planning was done, that is implemented here in this second stage. Its success depends much on the quality of the interaction which is taking place between the teacher and the students. After this, comes the third stage or the last stage, which is the post-active stage or the evaluation stage. This is concerned with the evaluation of whatever has been planned and executed at the first and the second stages of the teaching task. And the output of this evaluation stage provides feedback uh, for actually making or bringing the desired modification and the improvement in the activities which are carried out or planned and executed in the first two phases. So in this way, the entire task of teaching is complete. The three stages of teaching actually happen. So all these three stages constitute the entire teaching process, which is starting from the pre-active stage and then run through the interactive phase and then ends by the post-active stage. So this is all for today. These are a few of those references and the links which were used for the development of this lecture. You can also go ahead and study more with the help of these books and the links. And I think this much is enough for today. Let us see each other again in a other topic some other time. Thank you so much for the day. Dear students, you were watching a video on the science of teaching learning, and in this lecture we discussed the different stages of teaching, including the pre-active stage, the interactive stage and post-active stage. This video lecture was recorded by faculty at home during the homebound situation of COVID-19 pandemic using minimal technical resources. Technical errors, if any, are unintentional and may please be ignored. For any queries with regard to this lecture or broadcast, kindly send your email to techsupport@dth.ac.in. Thank you so much.